What's up guys, EJ here, and in this video I'm going to be going over some advanced jumps that I use in the rank playlist. Now these jumps aren't as monumental as the ones I used in the essential rank jumps video, which I'll flash on screen right now and put in the description, but these are for if you've mastered all of those, or even if you haven't mastered all of them yet but just want even more to implement into your gameplay. Here are some more advanced ones that I also have been trying to and have been using in the rank playlist. Starting off on the bottom P of Aquarius, you have these two light posts down here, and on this side you can just use this box to jump straight up here, but on this side it's a little more tricky. You cannot jump off these green I guess fertilizer bags in the corner. You have to use this computer, which is a little trickier, but you can still get up here, and if for some reason you are on this side and the computer ends up being easier, you can do the same thing. So not crazy, but if you're down here, definitely try using these to play your life, because nobody will expect you to be here. Next is a spot in the utilities of Aquarius. There's this little cylinder in the corner here, and if you just jump, thrust, hold crouch, you can land here. It's a somewhat common spot and very niche, but maybe if you're in a close slayer or something like that, you might be able to find a use for it. Next, there's some spots down here in bottom mid. So on each side of this little pillar in the wall on both sides, if you have a nice crouch jump, you can just stand up here, like I said, on both sides of both walls. So definitely a nice spot to play your life. There's not a ton of situations where you need to play your life bottom mid, but it's a nice spot nonetheless if you do happen to be down here. Next, I'm going to talk about a couple of overjumps that I use in Aquarius. I talked about overjumps briefly in my essential rank jumps video. I'll leave the same tutorial that I left in that description in this description as well. I strongly recommend that you check this out before trying overjumps, because it can be a little confusing if you don't know what you're looking at. So the first one is right here. It's just overjumping off this box to get up here. It's fairly intuitive since it's a pretty good height, but it's definitely not free. You'll definitely have to practice it a little bit. Sometimes you'll clip your feet like that, but if you get it just right, you'll pop up there. I've gotten somewhat consistent at this one. It's not the most useful, but like I said, you can still get pretty consistent at it. And the other overjump I wanted to talk about is skipping the clamber car 3 off this box. If you want to see how I skip the clamber on P side, go watch my other video. It's very simple and very useful. But yeah, skipping this clamber is not easy since this ledge is kind of jutting outward. It makes the overjump kind of hard. But let me see if I can hit one. So yeah, like that. That is so clean. I really like this jump. It's not easy, but if you can master this, I mean, that's gonna add a ton to your game. Moving on to live fire, there's these ledges back B that I really do like. You can land on them if you're precise, but another maybe more practical use is jumping off of them, just like that. And how I do this is I hold crouch, I line up about right here on this little green lip, hold crouch, walk off, and then jump to the corner. I kind of feather off of my left stick so I don't go up too high, because then if you do that you'll just fall off. And so once you're here, you can just sit here, you can jump back up and kind of surprise somebody that might have been chasing you and was expecting you to jump up earlier. Or you can kind of just loop back. And to do it where you're just jumping off of it, I kind of go off the left stick mid-air and then push back into it as I'm about to hit the lip, if that makes sense. Hold off of it, then go back into it, and then I can usually jump off of it every time. That makes it feel really good, because if you just send it into the wall, you're just gonna fall straight off. So try hesitating midair and then jumping. Next is this curbside kneecap to clamber scoreboard. So you slide off here, kneecap off here, and clamber scoreboard. This is pretty difficult because of this uneven ground and these annoying bags on top of this box, but you can hit it if you're precise enough. And make sure when you're jumping, you jump around where I'm standing. I'll show a clip of it with controller overlay so you can get a better idea of it, but make sure you're not jumping too close because you won't really need a kneecap. Next is this curbside from small window and A to scoreboard. This one is a really nice rotation and a really good way to chow A plat. You can also no clamber it, but you do really have to make sure you line this up, because when you first start trying this, you might like hit yourself on any 3 of these sides, and you won't hit it if you hit yourself. So you really need to make sure you get a good lineup, and then just time your curb side right. There's also this infamous spot bottom mid. I would have put this in the essential rank jumps video, but they made it a lot harder around like season 3 or 4. So now you can only stand on like a tiny part of it, but nonetheless, it still is a great spot if you can hit it.
Maximum.
Moving on to recharge, you can curb slide off of this box to get to the pillar. It's fairly difficult, but with good timing, it can be done. Here's another overdump that skips a clearing bit of top control. This one is also pretty intuitive. You just gotta watch out because this box is shaped a little weird. Here's a recently popular spot on Twitter. You can actually just fall down here and keep jumping for a good while. This is especially useful if you have the oddball, because obviously you can just milk time right before you're about to die. So yeah, you can keep jumping here for a pretty long time. It's just timing based. You can technically be there forever. But yeah, definitely a good spot to get familiar with. Here's one that I don't think is too useful, but you can still do. You can curb slide off this box and kind of like kneecap off this small little lip here to get up here. It's not very useful and it's pretty difficult, but you can still do it. Like so. Here's a ledge that you can use when you're getting chased from Whirlpool, or maybe want to get a creative angle on C-Plat. You can stand right there for like a little bit. It'll push you off eventually, but you can jump off of it. You can either go mid or just play your life by jumping back. Either way, nice ledge. This is a cool spot that Chet and Wolf on Twitter found. If you jump off this little edge of the platform, you can land up here. And you can land here, but I think it's best to keep jumping here because it's very easy to fall off. So yeah, just keep jumping here. You can play your life, get a nice angle on Whirlpool. Very cool spot. There is still, of course, this jump to get to top control. I really don't use this pretty much ever because you're so exposed when you're doing it, but you can still do it if you want an alternate like method to get to top control. Right next to that jump actually are these 2 ledges out here, which aren't really known about. These are very nice, like especially this one. If you're getting chased from top control and can quickly like dip in here, I don't think you're very exposed, so you can kind of like fake somebody out and then chow them again. Like in 2v2. In 4s, you're probably gonna get melted, but 2v2, definitely a nice spot. Finally on streets, there's these 2 palm trees. You can clamber and then jump off of both of these. I don't really see anybody doing this anymore. It used to be very popular, but nobody really does it anymore. And I think it still has some use. So. And to add on to that, if you jump off this left palm tree, then jump right here onto this box, and then jump again, you can land here, which is a great spot to just be sneaky for a little bit. And as a clamber skip alternative, you can actually overjump off this to get into tires. This is probably the easier way to do it. I covered this one in my other jumps video, but overjump's still nice. This spot has been in the game since season 1, but now that there's a repulse in ranked, you can just walk up here and repulse straight up here. Hold crouch, as if you stand up, you might get pushed off depending on where you're standing. But yeah, this is a great little sneaky angle to watch camo and just be really high up where no one will expect you. And now that the repulse is on streets, this spot, which has also been in the game since season 1, is unlocked. You can also repulse up here from bottom streets or just right here. And you can also curb slide kneecap off the bench to get up there as well. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you liked, drop a like. If you want to see more of this content, subscribe. But yeah, that's all for now. Peace.